for Strange Things Radio. Yeah, we've been talking Strange Things Radio. Gotta listen, gotta listen, gotta listen. Strange Things Radio. Yeah, Strange Things Radio. Gotta get a little bluesy, James. A little bluesy. Oh, yeah.
That's not bluesy. That's like Southern
what?
Baptist.
No, that's not.
Come to Jesus.
Are we going in that direction, buddy? We're not even 5 minutes
I'm figuring
in the
half
show,
America.
All of a sudden, we're going to get combative.
No,
with
we're
each
just saying because what's happening with North Korea. You're going to have a lot of people running the church.
Dude, there are a lot
because
of
let me
people
tell you, because the old Blondie up there, he's going to be like
Blondie. There was a time before you became Hillarized, and we're not getting into politics.
No, I didn't say Hillarized.
I'm
just more scared of the one in there now than I was.
Some of the good things that we talked about at Wings and Things that he might do, he's doing. That's the difference between someone who does and someone who yaps.
Yeah, but if he gets us into a freaking war,
dude,
World War III.
The little fat guy from Korea is the one that started it. Did he not start it? He's nuts to boot. He thinks he's God. He requires his people to worship him. Please. He's the only Korean in North Korea.
It's fat.
That's fat. Look.
He's part of the Girthy Club.
Look. Yeah, the Girthy Club, exactly. The Girthy Club of one. So, how was your week, buddy?
Dude, good. Hey, move those over. I don't want to take them out. I want to move this.
All right, go ahead, man. You do a little house cleaning? Okay.
Well, I want you to make sure you can see everyone in the chat room.
I brought my laptop tonight. But the only thing is I can't get in the chat. I don't know what's going on, man. That's all right.
So, no, good week. I had a good week. Some strange things in the news is going to be coming up later on. We're going to sit around watching Trump Meister
do his thing.
Gee, I just thought about something. I know. But remember the miser from those cartoons? What were the name of those cartoons?
Heat Miser?
Yeah.
Don't sing it. Don't sing it.
I know,
what was it? Heat Miser and was it Snow Miser or Cold Miser? What was the other miser?
But they kind of look like him.
They
with
were related.
Head.
They were related. Remember in the story, Santa Claus is coming to town. I can't believe I remember this. But those were two brothers, and Mother Nature ruled them. Remember? She intervened because they were bad at each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
There's a lot about that. Kind of remind me of the way they look. So,
buddy, I'm telling you right now, I am so glad that it's Friday. Number one, we get to do the show and hang out with the Strangelings. But number two, get some rest. And finally, number three, get the things I need to get done. I mean, I have so much stuff I have to do, right? Ton of stuff I have to do. And it's like, I want to sleep in tomorrow, but I can't. I got to run into work for a couple hours. I need to take care of something.
You're working every weekend.
Dude, listen, when you keep the place running along with, there's my cool black friend out there. He said he was going to be out. No, I don't see him, man.
Well, he may be there. He may be this... I almost said something. I'm like, that would be kind of
getting some sleep. No, man, it's just, and it's all day, and it's people, they're like, hey, Eric, can you help me? I'm like, can you put in a ticket? And they always look at you. A lot of times it's executives like, oh, come on, and I'm like, can you just put in a ticket, please? That way I don't forget, right?
Right.
So, but it was just a crazy week. And I'm actually thinking about going, dude, we should go hit the beach while it's decent and warm and hot outside. In the evening time. That's the best
like
place
around
to go to the
8:30
beach.
or 9. But, man, anything.
8:30 or 9. I'm thinking about 7-ish. Then that gives you a couple hours before it's dark. And I'm not going out in the water if it's dark. I'm just sorry. That's when Jaws come. Yeah.
Okay, I
Dude, that's not funny. We have bull sharks down here, people. They say bull. I'm saying, man. They say they are the most aggressive sharks. They seek you out. All right, and I mean, it's just like, no, I don't know if I want to do that, man. So,
yeah.
But it's been a long week. I know you're happy. I mean, you, Mr. Real Estate Mogul over there, and I'm still waiting for some payoff here. You're going to get this check, get that check. I'm like, when's he going to say, let's do some Wings and Things? I thought that was
you work every day now.
I'm not in any way suggesting that or making in any kind of a pitch. I'm not trying to pitch the idea.
But wait, you're always working.
Listen, I will make time. I'll just take an extended lunch. You know where I am? I'm over on Cortez.
Yeah. So
I'm literally a half hour away from Wings and Things if I bolt. All right? And I have the path down.
Oh,
so
I see it. Guest 2435 says, hey, Eric, I made it. So I think that is our
No.
Cool Black Friend.
No, because
no.
Cool Black Friend comes in as Cool Black Friend.
Well, I didn't know because
I think that's someone that I'm so glad that she's out there. I mean, it's cool. I've been asking her, listen, will you listen to the show? Listen to the show. Tell me what you think. Be a critic, all right?
Alfaro says they're attracted to Cheetos and Castleberries.
Hey,
And
no.
for those folks
All right.
who have listened to the show a little bit, we love Castleberries. Go
You know what
Google
I f-
Castleberries.
You know what I forgot to bring?
Castleberries.
Pistachios.
Oh, got you. Hold on.
Are you freaking kidding me, man? You know, James, come on. You are absolutely incredible, folks. To me, the two best snacks are pistachios and bugles. Remember the bugles? We talked about this last week. You put the bugles on the. So one of you out there sat there and said, "Oh, I got fingered." Oh man, you folks, he just planted a 40-ounce bag of pistachios. Who in the family likes pistachios?
Lily.
Lily?
Oh my goodness, she will
dude, that
tear
is
up
so
a bag
sad. Remember
in
last
a heartbeat.
week? Remember, was it last week, the week before we sat there? I got her bag of bugles. Did she sit there and say, "Gee, Dad, did you let Eric have some?" Did she? How's the bearded dragon doing, folks? Listen, James hears his daughter. What's she turn? 11, 12? What
12.
was it?
She turned 12.
Okay. So she mentions, hey, I want a bearded dragon. So what does James? James doesn't go out and just get a small little aquarium, rather light. He gets one of these. How many gallons? It's huge.
40.
So it's a huge. Is it 40 gallons? So he's got stone in it, and he's got a light, and he feeds it. You have a special diet for it, right?
Oh, yes, we do.
Vegetable. You don't want to feed it a burrito?
No. In the morning,
That'd make a
it
mess.
gets veggies.
Yeah.
Afternoon, it gets sometimes a snack of a couple mealworms or super worms, and then at night, it also gets its crickets.
Just this is the thing. Don't put it out. Let it run around, and Duke have a little snack.
Duke doesn't care about it. It's the cat. We bring it out all the time.
Wait, the cat would come up and attack it?
Yeah, the cat's like, big lizard! Oh, yeah.
Does it bat at it? Does it bat?
Well,
at its
no,
snout?
we don't let it do
Good.
that, but
Dude.
it will because it goes.
But it's going to get big, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to get about 24 inches.
24 inches.
Yeah, between the tail and the head.
24 inches. So
12 inches of it's gonna be the
you're gonna
body.
have to go out and get a bigger aquarium.
No, that one will fit. The 40. We can't put any more in there.
2 feet. The thing probably wants to stretch its legs. I mean, don't lizards like to crawl
40
around?
is 40 is fine for it.
I guess, man.
Because by the time it gets to be that, it'll be about 18 months to 2 years when it gets full grown.
All right.
They get really lazy.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I would, I don't know if I'd.
But cat,
enjoy-
you're right. Dragons do need room to spread their wings.
What? Spread their wings and fly?
Do you know what the name of the dragon is, right?
No. It's a
It's
bearded
Astrid.
dragon. Oh, that's right.
Astrid, if those who don't know, if you see the cartoons called How to Train Your Dragon, they have 2 major feature films, and they have a whole series on Netflix called How to Train Your Dragon from a book series. My daughter absolutely loves it. And
Folks,
so she named her bearded dragon after the female character in the show, Astrid.
Yeah. No. I told you, man. You can recoup some of your cost if you get Astrina. Wait, is Astrid a guy or a girl?
It's a girl.
All right, why don't you get
I'm
and then end up breeding. How much
Oh.
you pay for that thing?
That was 175.
75. You being the business mogul that you are, and you don't smell. So how many? What's the size of the litter? How many they have?
Let's cut a clutch.
A clutch?
A clutch is a group of lizards or snakes or like that. They can do,
What are they? Eggs?
yeah, they're eggs.
Dude, recoup your costs.
No.
That you being a businessman, I'm wondering why wouldn't you recoup your costs? You know what I mean?
By the way, Tina May, you're absolutely correct.
What?
She says Games of Thrones has been renamed Boobs and Dragons. I love that series.
I never watched it. You know, I mean, isn't that the one with the midget king?
Yeah, he's not a king now, but he is.
I know. I have a friend of mine on Facebook. She's like, I'm binging on Games of Thrones. I'm like, okay, man. You know,
binging. I've been watching it from day one.
What is it on HBO?
Yeah.
Okay.
But because we see, in order for me to save some of my dollars from my,
Yo, dollar.
we
Well, first of all, you got to hide it from Jen. I'm just saying.
she loves that show.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes.
The kids haven't gotten into it, have they?
We don't let them.
I'll tell
No.
you. Is there
We're
nudity?
oh, please.
Is there Monty Python breastular exposure?
There's the front end,
Dude,
the
you don't
back end. There's the
really.
from both species.
I don't really give a damn about the guy. You know what I'm saying? But if the chick is hot, this is the thing.
Oh, they're all-
See, this is in merry old England, right? It's not like they had
It's fantasy.
a shower stall or some place to bathe. You know, the stink consideration was intense. I'm just saying, right?
Tina Marina. Tina Marina. Oh my God, Eric has never watched the show with all the naked women in it.
All right. All right, I'm not even going to respond to that. I'm just letting that go. But yeah, and you know what? We should enjoy ourselves right now, James. We should enjoy ourselves because
Is it the end of the world?
There's this. Hey,
It's the
as we know it. Okay, I'm just saying. Right?
That was good.
As we know
it.
it. All right. This guy is nuts, James. He's nuts.
Oh no.
He's Hitler.
Please.
He's Mussolini, and he's Stalin, all wrapped up in one. This guy's
And then
a
we got
nut.
the guy from North
He
Korea.
thinks he. All right. Listen to Jen laughing in the back. Yeah, all right, Jen. Now I know whose side you're on, but I know.
That was good. That was good. Hey, listen, I play both sides of the fence because
Dude, if you've
they're-
seen, all right, go ahead and laugh. I have friends of mine, or had friends, past tense, that were friends, that kind of said, "Nah, I don't like you." One called me batshit crazy. All right, they did, and I'm like, "Hey, I am not."
dude, I got a friend.
Who? You got a friend?
I have a.
Hey,
There we go.
Gotta
That's all.
stop-
I popped in my head.
doesn't it suck that we can't sit there?
I
and
know,
sit?
I know.
Come on, man.
But he lives in New York. He owns a software company. Done very well for himself. And that's Dion, right? And he does these sculling. You know that like that's like a rowboat, a single rowboat. Not a rowboat. Yeah, it's a row. It's a big long thing you paddle. You it's for exercise, right? You know, one of those people. I don't know.
A big long thing that you paddle for exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I don't know the personal name, but on the back of it, he has Trump. He's a huge Trump supporter. He has Trump 2020 on it. He's been on CNN because
Is he really?
He rose from Staten Island to all the different places out there on the Hudson, right? And he's constantly rowing. He's constantly giving away things. So he was in the New Yorker. He was on CNN. He's all over the place. Paddleboard? No, it's something more official than that. But hey, I'll put a link up to the guy so you guys can. So he's a big Trump fan, and it's funny because he gets up there and he went to there's a picture of him with a banner, a big old Trump banner at a New York Mets Yankees game. Huge. He's holding it up, and people are yelling at him. So it's funny though.
Folks, I got to tell you, tonight's beverage brought to you by, tonight's show brought to you by Arnold Palmer Zero, no calorie, half and half. James, mark the counter, man. Let's see if we can get some free tea out of this thing, man. James, we should be sitting there cutting individual things, selling to these or sending them to these restaurants. See, we can get some freebies, man. How do you think other shows do it? Right? Where you going? Where you going? Are you setting the mood? He just sat there and killed all the lights, man. He killed all the lights. It's kind of cool at Halloween and Christmas when we do the show, but now it's just kind of like weird. It's just
feel like we're in a real studio.
well.
I mean, between all the
What are you talking
monitors and all the laptops and the boards.
It is a real studio, right? It's
It
our
is.
studio.
It is our studio.
So, but no, James. Next week. That's when.
There it is. Cat had it. Sculling. SCULLING. Thank you. That's exactly what it is.
Sculling. Okay.
So, boating.
I guess, man.
Thanks,
I
Kate.
guess. But I am so stoked that Pamela is listening. Thank you, Pam. Thank you for hanging out with us, man.
Last name's
This
not
is-
Anderson,
this
is it?
Oh, dude.
Sorry.
Don't
Sorry.
me. Well, first of all, see, the thing is, she's been labeled. Tommy put a label on her that she's going to carry for the rest of her life.
Oh, please.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
But this is the nasty side where you're like, I think I might risk it. Let's go with the thick. The thick.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Let's go with overprotection, dual to triple, just for the experience, man. No, that's pretty sad, man. Forgive me, Lord. Forgive me.
So, what is tonight's show about?
Well, tonight's show, folks, we're from the 11 to 12 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about evidences, okay? How do you know something's happened? How do you know something's real? How do you know it's evidence? How do you know an event has occurred? Well, you got video. How do you know if someone's been murdered? You got a body. You can go and look at the body. That's evidence. So I remember as a kid, we talked about the paranormal, talked about ghosts. Yes, we talked about Bigfoot. But really, James, would you agree that just knowing about Bigfoot, how it was popularized, or, the whole infamous concept of Bigfoot started from that video or the film? What was the guy's name?
So,
I can't. You should know this, man.
I should be right there. Peterson. Peterson.
Okay.
Peterson.
So really, after that, then technology came to the point where they started to have video cameras. You had cameras on your phone, and you could catch more and more evidence. Right, James?
That's right.
Same thing with ghosts. Look at the popularity of all these ghost shows. I mean, some of them have been, 10, 15 years? It's been 15 years when it started, 15 years ago, and it's become more and more popular, especially with, some of these shows, the Ghost Hunters, the Ghost Adventures. I mean, I remember the Ghost Adventure. Remember that whole series? Zach Bagans got his start from deciding to do a documentary. I don't believe that he had some grand vision of being on television. I mean, he just wanted to make a video documentary, and I forgot what it was. Cece, what was that documentary? It was like a half hour, I think. It was a documentary that he did. Well, Travel Channel decided to pick it up based on some incredible evidence that he caught in the Goldfield Hotel. Where the boards started flying, remember? And he freaked out. Dude, that's what launched that career. Why? Because it was evidence. I mean, some critics could sit there
Fake
and
news.
say, what? Yes, they could, bro. They could.
Yes.
But this is the thing. Who the hell would set up an elaborate hoax down in the basement in a certain area, and they probably had no idea these guys would go down there and do that? I mean,
or if they were in on
it could either be the owner, which I doubt, or Zach Bagans, which I doubt. So it was evidence. And, the whole Phoenix Lights thing, right? When you see the Phoenix Lights?
Yeah.
It's evidence. So that's what we're going to be talking about later from
different, not just from ghost paranormal, but Bigfoot videos, UFO videos, Nestle. So we're going to look at
Did you just say Nestle? You said Nestle.
Well, I was thinking Nestle.
Dude, I'm not trying to call you out on it, but
that was funny.
You say that,
Nestle.
and I'm thinking Nestle. Does that sound like chocolate? No, the Nestle bars, the crunch.
Is that a segue into a commercial?
We can't be talking about this all night. I'm just telling you that right now, right? I mean, that just makes my blood sugar.
Great.
So I took a shot before I come over here anyway. So.
All right. So, but just about video that's caught either through CCTV or through body cams or just different. I guess amateur would be the correct word, because think about it. Has there any been? And this is one thing I always.
Are we going to talk about it right now?
No,
man?
I'm sorry.
What I did was a tease.
And I know
right?
that I'm just letting loose of the whole farm.
Because do I not tease?
Oh, what are you?
I'm just saying,
big
man.
daddy
The women love me when I'm teasing. I'm just saying. But that was a tease. So stick around for the second hour of the show. That'll be 11 to 12.
And then we're going to get strange things in the news. From 10:30 to 11. And we got some things to talk about there.
Well, I think we kind of blew the load on Kim Jong-un. Wouldn't you just love to go out and
we can talk a little bit
the hell out
about
of him? Yeah.
Oh,
well, dude, this is the thing. I think both sides are staring at each other. There we go. We're going to get into it, James, and we're not even. We got 4 minutes and then we're going to take our break on time at 10:25.
Okay, so, but real quick, and then we're going to go to break. But I did hear that this is from another show. They were doing there's a lot of, do you know when he gets out of he has a big Mercedes stretch limousine.
Who?
Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is. Hung Lung, not so long.
Let's just call him Tubby.
Tubby.
Right? Yeah.
Tubby from the north.
Buddy.
He's Tubby from the north.
This is the thing, man. He's Tubby from the north, but I bet he's got some hot shit.
Well, he's paying for him. I mean, you can get...
What?
Buddy. Think about it.
Dude, like I said,
He's paying for him one way or another.
They worship this guy.
Because he forces them to.
Yeah.
That's not worship. That's called dictatorship. That's I don't even know what to call that.
No.
So what I'm trying to say is, so he's got, the reason I'm talking about this limo is because he had it imported. They don't import, they smuggle.
Yeah.
So he smuggles in cash. He smuggles in all this stuff. When he knows what he does with that stuff, he gives them to his generals. Because he knows.
So you got to buy him off.
You got to buy him off. If you're going to let the fat boy in and run the country, you better make it worth your while. So these generals are like, yeah, dude, whatever, fat boy. Just run your world. Just give us the crap we want so our families are rich and we don't have to worry about
Well, by the way, and while the rest of his people starve.
Yeah.
And dude, they starve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they do.
Lack of but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get more into that.
All right, it is 7:23. Let's take a little early because I got to get some money to get settled in, man.
And plus, I'm out of drinky. Look,
all right.
that means
Dude,
I'm out of drink.
I got more tea out in the car if you want it, man.
No, I got my Diet Pepsi sitting over there.
All right, folks, this is Strange Things Radio. Sitting in with James and Eric. We're here from 10 until 12. And I'm glad all the strangelings are hanging out in the chat room. I'm welcoming a special guest. All those of you that are listening on TuneIn or Paranormal, huh? And iHeart, we love you. Hang out with us real quickly, James. How can people get in touch with us?
So, I'll bring the music down a little bit. Strange Things Radio at gmail.com is our email. If you go to Strange Things Radio Network is our Facebook account. You can also get us on Twitter if you want to do that. I still come across it, which is Host of Strange.
Send us an email, man. Tell us who you are, where you are. We have people over in Manila.
Oh, and StrangeThingsRadio.com.
They'll get, I didn't even see. There he is. Manila Joe.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, it's a good point. He's in that neck of the woods over there with Fat Boy.
Yeah, but I don't think, he wants to come after us. I don't think he's mentioned where the film is.
Yeah,
but anyway,
all right.
This is Strange Things Radio. We're here. Thank you for being here on our flagship, Para X. So we'll be back here in a bit, folks. Grab some snackage and some drinkage, and we'll see you on the backside. Bye. Don't go away.
Strange Things Radio. Strange Things Radio.
Yeah, Strange Things Radio, Friday night, hanging out with James and Eric. Has anybody walked outside and checked out the Perseid meteor shower?
I can't even say that word.
Dude, listen.
I'll be like, Poseidon?
I went out once to Mayaca City.
I did the same
Mayaca
thing.
State Park. Folks, listen.
Years ago, but yeah.
There's two things about Florida that are a drag. A, it gets Africa hot for about 4 to 5 months. B, I don't think there's another state in the union that has more things, insects, animals that could kill you. I'm just saying. So you go out to...
Are you talking about the girls in South Beach? I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking about a wild boar that lives that... And when they have their little piglets, these things will attack you.
Oh, yeah.
They will attack you, and they will attempt to eat you. So forget the fact that, you have Florida panthers. You have various forms of snakes. You got all the spiders and all that stuff. So the thing is, if you can find a place, like go out into the country where there's no light pollution, and you look up in the sky, you can watch them one right after another. It's so cool, man. It's just so cool. Oh, and a side note, once I saw Aurora Borealis up in Minnesota. We took a little canoe trip.
It's like it's pronounced meteor shower.
What did I say?
No, he's making fun of because I can never pronounce anything.
Buddy, all right. You know what? I'm getting prompted for my power source. Damn, figures that, it would happen like this.
And did you bring a power supply?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I just don't. Do you have a?
There's a plug over there. Oh no, there's a plug over here, folks.
Right.
See, this is the advanced technical side of
We're live. Dude,
Strange
right?
Things Radio.
We're live.
We're live, so this is what happens.
Yeah,
We don't
but
edit.
yeah.
Even if we weren't live, we don't edit our show. We don't. I will literally, guys, when I do podcasting, when we store the show and we put it up to the cloud that everyone listens to, I don't really edit unless there's something really bad I have to. But for the most part, we let it roll. So when you're hearing this, and that's not on Friday nights.
Yeah.
You're hearing exactly what we do on Friday nights.
This, man, unbelievable. I should have came prepared, man. But I did kind of run in. All right, you want to go ahead and plug this in for me? Want to plug this in for me? Come on, man.
Well, I don't know if I can. Hold on.
That's all right. That's all right. So, but yeah, if you want to check out the Perseid meteor shower, just go out. If you don't have a whole lot of light pollution, a lot of street lights and things like that, you'll get a show. So, I mean, I would probably go if we didn't have the show. I'd probably think twice about going out to Mayaca, but the only thing is out in Mayaca, if you're going to go and watch the show, the meteor shower, that's the place you got to go. So, I'm just saying. But anyway, James, listen, I remember the days leading up to, the attack on Baghdad. All the different wars were, and then when they actually started, you were like, yep, there it goes. I wasn't really conscious during the Cuban. I don't think I was born. When was the Cuban Missile Crisis? I don't think I was born. Maybe, anyway.
64?
Okay.
But we've always had the threat here in Florida for years, especially when I was a kid. I was born and raised here in Florida. And so it was always kind of that looming thing in the background. Oh, my goodness, Cuba, 90 miles away from the U.S. Shores, is the Cuban Missile Crisis. I honestly think, and maybe a lot of Floridians, especially Cubans, we never really thought that would be a problem. Maybe for a brief moment back in the 60s. But outside of that, it was more of a, okay, I have some nukes here. It was kind of a half, I don't know, it's kind of like that one bully that wasn't a bully. I don't know. It's just, I never took it that seriously. This, even though it's halfway around the other side of the world, is it all the way around the side of the world? I don't know. Either way.
It's a haul.
It's a haul. I'm more fearful of that than I ever was.
Now,
the Cuban.
You can watch documentaries on the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, thank you there. For all 60 to 61.
Kennedy conducted himself, right?
Yeah.
We never had world leaders saying, we're going to reduce your nation to ashes. The guy said that.
Or the other one, too. I'm going to put it on both sides because I think both people are doing a pissing contest.
But the
I'm
thing
just
is,
saying.
Thing is, we haven't had a leader, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, or Bush. We're not going to get political. It's just part of it, right? All three of them, and you have Democrats and Republicans.
Oh, I agree.
That didn't have the cojones to sit there and say, when being threatened, oh, really? Fire and fury, okay. I mean, he could have sat there and said, we're going to make your country a glass parking lot. Did he say anything like that? That, I think, would have been...
Came close, though.
No.
He said, we will, something like the world has never seen. I don't know. And
he's not standing down like previous leaders.
I'm not saying that, but
kissing
I think he could,
coolly, giving in.
But I think he could have worded a little bit better, and you have to admit, he does come off the handle a lot of times.
Well,
he grabs the Twitter machine pretty fast and hard, and No, see, here's one thing I like to say. They always say, speak quietly and carry a big stick.
Yeah.
Who's making the big stick? Someone's going to make that thing. So
Both
that's what I wonder is who's making military arms for nuclear weapons?
All right, this is the thing.
Someone's got it.
This is the thing.
Oh, I did hear something real quick. My brother told me this. My brother's in Boston. He was more of a
PhD.
Yeah, he is a Hillary-ish fan. He said something, and I agree with him. Do you know that Hillary sold 20% of our
uranium
to Russia?
And they're investigating.
Uranium is so hard to get. I mean, it makes getting gold look like going to the candy store.
And then you know what happened, don't you?
Oh, they lost track of it.
They kicked back millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation.
So
we're not going to get political, right? We're not going to get political.
Saying, well, my thought was the plutonium. Anytime you release anything like that, it's just bad news for all parties.
The way you said plutonium, I thought about Doc Brown in plutonium. Did you steal that? Anyway, so
he had all those guys running toward him. Go.
Yeah. James, this is the thing, though. It's never been like this before.
No.
Well, they're saying, okay, you shoot it, we're going to respond. Now, let me just paint a scenario. That's supposed to happen next week or the week after. Very soon, in a matter of days. Let's just say hypothetically, this nutcase, because the guy's a nutcase, James. Let's be honest here. He's a nut, okay? Let's say he's like, well, I was going to do like a Korean accent, but I don't want to offend anyone.
Well, you know who's Korean.
Joe Zatai. Who?
Oh, shoot, I say that?
Dude, stop.
I know. No, she's very important to us.
She's one of our researchers, man.
Yes. So, and I always, and so I always, here's what I like to see happen. Get rid of him, unite North and South Korea back to a solid
Chinese
nation.
Would never want that to happen. Never. Because they would view reunification as Americans on their border. Unless they came up with a treaty that there would be no American forces in Korea, then I think they'd agree to it. Because you're always talking about trade and economic ties and this, that, and the other thing. China doesn't want to mess.
Get rid of the fat boy, and let me tell you open up a whole new market. First thing, McDonald's would just excuse us, we're coming running. I don't know what that accent was, but it wasn't.
James,
that was my little.
The thing is, bro, this never has this been a situation where and miscalculation could start a firing match. What did Trump say? Don't attack us. I don't think he even meant don't use nuclear warheads, or because I doubt he would do it. He'd be stupid to do it. But let's say he launches these missiles, okay, towards Guam, and what his plan is to have them fall short before even getting into territorial waters. But let's just say one of them has a boost of energy and flies and actually hits Guam. Not a detonation, no nuke, but it hits Guam, and let's just say it actually kills somebody. Trump will do something. And the Chinese today said, well, we got two situations here, two set of circumstances. If North Korea, their ally, decides to attack and does launch a missile and hits Guam, then they'll stay neutral. But for whatever reason, if we were to launch a preemptive strike, then the Chinese will get involved. Now, anybody that understands the Korean War, that's exactly what happened. We were whooping the crap out of the North Koreans, and then suddenly the Chinese came down, extended the war, and it was there was no end to the war. It was like an armistice. Right, armistice.
Too big of a word for me, buddy.
Especially this late. but
my father was in the Korean conflict.
Really,
he was a POW.
Yeah. Wow,
3 times.
So you have to ask yourself: could a miscalculation All I think it would take would be one hostile attack by one side or the other, and all of a sudden, all hell's going to break loose. And this is the thing. I don't necessarily believe that they've miniaturized nuclear warheads to put on a missile to hit the United States, although they've sat there and, and talked about the various scenarios, right? You get scenarios. Well, it only take 25 minutes or 30 minutes to hit Los Angeles, and then so many minutes to hit Chicago, and so many minutes to hit...
And you know what that is? That's the news coming up with more news to talk about.
Right.
When the news creates their own news, is it really news, or is this like me and you? That's what I say. I mean, they're creating content.
But the thing is, this is the thing. Oh, look at what Sherry goes. What is that? What did Sherry post? EMP. Are you trying to get me going, Sherry?
Sherry's right on it.
She knows.
She's got three letters to scare Eric.
How often does she listen? She knows exactly what we're talking about. How about an EMP? What if this guy, and that's what he's doing, is ultimately he wants to do an EMP. Let's talk nuclear weapons hitting a city instead of putting it up in space and it not being shot down, and it gets right over and puts a full footprint on the United States and then explodes, then we're in the dark ages.
And then folks, we wouldn't be able to broadcast.
And the strangely, wouldn't that suck, James? Well, first of all, I'm not walking over here. I'm just telling you that right now. You have a EMP, car doesn't work, lights don't work, refrigerator doesn't work.
Bicycle.
You can't get, bicycle, but you can't get from point A to point B without being butchered because they'll steal. Think of the panic if there was an EMP.
Oh, that was true.
It would be a panic.
Have you ever looked on your phone when you're Googling, when you're trying to go somewhere, instead of putting the car, you accidentally put I've actually hit the walking one, and one time it said 13 days. I'm like, what? 13 days to get there? And I'm like, oh, you mean to walk it? Oh, that's 2.5 hours.
All right, dude, this is the thing. At some point in time, you're going to have to pull this back of pistachios because Lily, I don't want to hurt her feelings, man.
You got a little bit more.
Yeah, you got a level in mind.
Yeah, here we go.
Did she ever say anything about the bugles?
No.
All right, cool. No.
But so we're going to change the topic for a second. This is something it's strange. I told you, we do weird and strange things here. We talk about if anyone who listens to our
not
show.
Not necessarily paranormal, right, James?
Yeah.
We have experts. Right.
Radio.
We have experts out there on the paranormal. We're not experts. We just like to talk about the paranormal or strange conspiracies. I mean, we get into all of that stuff, okay? We dig it. So we're not necessarily paranormal, but sometimes we do talk about it, and don't think there's a pretty good possibility that we don't know what we're talking. Didn't we ask one person the term? It was a term in the paranormal world, and we didn't even know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
All right.
This is an interesting little article. It is called, you're going to love this. It is, what's the official name of this thing? Give me a second. It is called a human farm. What happens is, this one's in Texas. They have them in different places around the United States.
You talking about like growing organs? Is that where you're going with that?
No. This is where they take real dead people who freshly died, and they put them on this land to see how they decompose in different scenarios, under a tree, out in the open, buried, different, and they literally have pictures like decomposing humans that are donated to Front. His name is Freeman Ranch, and basically home to Texas State Forensic Anthropology. Yeah, I got that word right. Center, and they study all these, how they like bury them 6 feet under, 10 feet under, different ways, and they sit them for so many months. They literally, and then they pull them out and they go, okay, this is a body. So they know what something looks like at a certain stage in their decomposition.
Bro, you never saw the videos taken at the Gettysburg battlefield? Some of those corpses, they bloat. They were in the sun and they literally bloat up. Wouldn't you hate
body farm? That's what they call it.
Wouldn't you hate to be the guy that has to sit there and bury these corpses?
Oh,
I'm just saying,
please,
because they sat out there for a while. I don't think they went and buried them right away because it was still kind of. In fact, I don't know how many days, how long it extended. Do you know how long? We might have to. How long did that Gettysburg conflict? I was going to say conflict. How long did that battle? I think it was a couple of days, right?
So
What?
fucking dead. Oh, the chat room.
Dude, I'm pissed that I can't get the damn chat room, and I'm in IT. Unbelievable.
That's why I got that right there.
I know, man. But I want you to be able to turn it back. But
Oh no, I can do mine. I can bring mine up pretty easily. But
Eh.
I thought that was really interesting because they have these pictures of all these farm. This farm, dude. They just and they kept showing like, just like what happens with the under tree, past a tree. It was
Dude,
pretty morbid.
I just thought of a young Frankenstein. Remember when Igor, when he first comes in, and it's like 5 years dead, 3 years dead, 2 years dead, 1 month dead, just dead, and he's like, I ain't got no. Remember the jars? Come on, James, stay
Just
with
taking
me.
me out. But dude, what year was that movie?
All right, it was in the 70s.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
all right,
I was
well.
not even. I mean, I was still in my twosies and threesies.
What are you trying to say, James? I'm old.
Sometimes
Are
your,
we gonna- are we gonna- are we
your
gonna have a-
references go back a little bit. This is a tad bit long.
Nobody out there has seen Young Frankenstein.
Oh
Come
no,
on,
we've all
man.
seen Young Frankenstein.
I was gonna
It's
say,
just-
please.
but it to conjure up the opening scene from some movie so
No, it
long
was-
ago, I got like, hold on, let me think.
It wasn't the opening. Never mind.
See?
See, that's why we're ADD of radio, James. You realize that? And I'm sure listeners that are listening to our show and sit there and go, are they talking about Young Frankenstein right now? That happens on the show, folks. Take it or leave it. That's what we do. Yeah,
So-
that's what we do.
Now switching gears from the Body Farm to
The Celestial Show.
yes. So
I remember. All right.
we're gonna have
The
a
last time that we had an eclipse, I want to say it was pretty close to being full eclipse. Right?
right.
You realize it's going to get dark, James. There's a sweet spot that goes through. Guess who's playing a concert?
Nope, don't know that
Dark Side of the Moon.
Really?
Yeah, man. Roger
Roger
Waters.
Waters.
Yeah, check it out, man. He's doing a concert. Could you imagine doing Dark Side of the Moon? Let's say they time it, because they can time exactly when it starts to happen.
one. Oh yeah, they already have. I've
And
seen
he can-
videos and
he can time the show where it's just like, tick, 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 tick. Yeah.
yeah, the time thing.
I mean, he's going to perform right in the darkest path where, what do they call the circle around the eclipse? Cece, what
Iris?
do they call the circle around the eclipse?
Is it an
Think you're
iris?
An iris?
No, an iris.
Is it no, it's Corona. Is it Corona? Damn,
no,
I don't know,
that's
man.
that's the slits.
No, that's the one we put the limes in. No, Corona. I think it's called Cece. What is it? Corona? Dude, we're not updating. Look at that.
I'm going as quick as the. I don't know. I'm just telling you.
You know what? I'm
How you spell eclipse?
ECEPL. I don't know, dude. It's too late, man. I don't want. Just do it. It'll word search.
Yeah, but I spell so bad. Google's forget it. Look, right now my Google's telling me, dude, I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Just so you know, I'm like burning up, but I'm having chills. That's not a good. That's me hitting the cord, buddy.
God, I'm like,
What do you
is that?
think?
I don't
it's
know.
Me hitting the cord. You got me
I'm-
tied in here, man.
Strap you in.
You know, you're going to have to bring a bag over here because if Jen sees the mess of the nut shells that I've made, she's not going to be happy, man. So, but
What's it? There it is. Excuse me, I can't even read it right.
Umbria.
Umbria.
Yeah. See, CC, you're so cool. She's always in the
Umbria,
game
the
with us.
Corona Shadow dominated. Oh no, that's not it. I have no idea. I was trying to Google that.
Are you afraid to sit there and try and say it?
Oh please. Yeah, I'm not.
Umbria.
Umbria.
It says Umbria, so that's the circle.
So,
and
well, it's
I
coming.
have-
But when's the dates? Eclipse.
It's 21st.
Eclipse.
Now,
Right.
what time? I don't know what time. And listen, folks, don't buy into this crap that you can go and pay a dollar at Walmart and get glasses that will allow you to look at the sun.
Oh, so here, this is important. This is a PSA.
Just don't even do it, man.
PSA. No, you can get the right glasses, but they have to have the ISO stamp on it, approval. ISO 9001. But the reason is because a lot of these Chinese people decide, hey, we'll make cheap. We make cheap on them.
Easy.
Oh, sorry. Not all
You
Chinese
don't
people.
want to lose audience by sitting there doing our impressions of somebody.
Right. But there is actually
That happened
approved
before.
ISO 12312-2. I read that right there.
Would you take a chance?
Oh no,
I'm not going to take a chance.
Well, if it's the approved One.
Maybe I'll try and
Made in America.
get a gander out of my peripheral vision, but I'm not going to look
Even
directly.
that'll hurt you.
Even if I sat there and had the glasses, I'm just not going to take a chance. But the thing is, when I have seen a full eclipse, and dude, it gets dark, and it freaks the animals out. Not only the dogs, but all the animals. They're like, wait a minute, didn't the sun?
Now,
they're
we're not
talking
going to
to-
get here in Florida. We're not going to get a total one. We're going
Right.
to get a partial.
We're not in the sweet spot.
We're not in the sweet spot. There's a sweet spot going straight through America.
Right.
From Ohio. From what's that state over there on the east coast, on the west coast, right above
Carolinas?
California? No, right above California.
Is that Oregon or Washington
Oregon
State? Okay.
Oregon, all the way through, right down the middle. It's like a zipper. Zip.
Dude, I'm telling you.
just be careful about the glasses.
Yes.
And I'm telling you,
Don't buy them at Walmart. Don't risk
No,
your eyes.
there's ones at Walmart that are
for
proper.
a buck?
No, not
For a
$1.
buck?
They're
I'm
going to be like
I heard it on the radio.
right, but those are the cheap non ones. Get ones that have the ISO. They're about $4 or $5
Wow.
for them. They're going to have the
Dude,
ISO stamp.
I'm surprised you didn't approach me a week ago. Say, listen, you want to make some money. James is all about businesses, starting businesses.
But this,
Go ahead.
That's a short term, and it wouldn't have lasted.
But this is the thing. Think how much fun people are going to have at that show. And if they were smart, like we said, they would start right when it was starting to. I can imagine people cheering because it's dark and
Oh yeah,
and then they're gonna wow. You know, oh my gosh, I'm surprised you didn't sit there and say, Eric, let's do it. Let's go check it out. Well, you don't have
Where's
to go
it
there.
at?
Well, I don't know. So people out there, dude, what is with the chat room not refreshing?
It's just, you know, what's
people
this-
aren't saying anything.
they're so stunned by
so-
our rhetoric, they
yeah.
can't even type in the chat room.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the problem.
yeah.
Oh, come back here.
But it's good. But that's what's going on. That's what on the horizon here, and I think it's the 21st. So,
Oh, I want to look up Roger Waters.
dude, all I'm going to do is go out in the parking lot, back by the pond, and not going to look at it, but to see how dark it gets. You know, like if it gets dusk dark. Did you find it?
No, I did not. I just find a whole bunch of videos.
If you were close, would you go? And remember,
that's
this is during the day, right? This is during the day, so you know.
yeah,
And during the work week,
1 p.m. 1 o'clock. It's according where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Like different parts. I don't know. I can't seem to find it. But now talking about the eclipse,
either it's Waters or it's Gilmore.
well, it would be Gilmore because Gilmore has retired per se. He won't do any more Pink Floyd stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he's already said that.
Really?
Yeah, as Roger Waters is really the only member left of the original Pink Floyd who is out touring and doing stuff using for Pink Floyd stuff because the drummer, which I always forget his name, he passed. Roger Waters,
The bassist went.
Yep.
No,
No, the bass is still
Roger Waters plays the bass, right?
Right. And then Gilmore, he's not doing any more Pink Floyd stuff. He actually sold a chunk of when they were doing a tour for Momentary Lapse of Reason. I think that was his. When he was doing that, he sold all the background stuff to the Australian Pink Floyd group, which is a cover band who does it so well that he actually had them play for him on his birthday. And he's like, this is, if I didn't know it wasn't us, I would think it was us playing out there. That's how good they are. But he sold, and then back, all those girls, and they do those background singing.
Yeah.
They tour with this Australian Pink Floyd. So if they ever come back to town, I will see them. Because I've never seen Pink Floyd live. I missed it. So I
It'd
would
be a
love
trip,
to.
though. It'd be a trip.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, remember the whole reunification? What was that, 2005? 2004? They did like 3 or 4 songs, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know there's a conflict. Dude, do we not demonstrate that we are the ADD of radio? We're talking about freaking Pink Floyd. We went from eclipses to Pink Floyd. Folks, listen, I want to, all the people that are out there listening, okay, this is what happens, man. We get all on a tangent. And James, you got to admit, man, we're a little different, man. We're not like a lot of the other talk shows. To everybody, we got to ask you, will you forgive us? All right, we're sorry. James, it's about that time, man. We got to go to another break.
No, dude, we've got 6 minutes.
All right.
3 minutes. What?
I'm looking at the time. It's 7:54.
Where?
I'm
7:54.
telling it's 7:54. I mean, 10:54.
Yeah, 10:54.
Yeah.
We guess we don't do break till 11. I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes from.
No, we gotta
I'll
take
just-
it five-
one quick thing, real quick, and then we'll go
All right,
lunch.
go ahead.
We'll go to lunch.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Wings and things. Come
It's
on.
the things that we're always talking about food on.
Oh, I know. Well, you know, what
We're
are we
talking
gonna
about it, we're reading it. So I saw this article that talked about the lizard man. It was in South Carolina, and they're talking about because the solar eclipse is coming out. So is the lizard man. I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, it's South Carolina. This straight from your favorite news source.
do? What's that? Oh, please. The only source for news and truth? I'm just
BBC
saying.
America?
No, not BBC America. Yeah.
South Carolina warns citizens of lizard man sightings during solar eclipse. Fox News Science.
Really?
I'm dead. I'm like, really? That's what I said. I'm
That
like,
had to be a tongue-in-cheek episode. I can't.
the
really,
South Carolina Emergency Management Division is warning citizens in several of its counties to be vigilant of paranormal activity associated with the upcoming total eclipse. Consider that the eclipse is a spatial event. You might think this warning is simply an amusement alert to keep an eye out for UFOs, but really not the case.
Dude, you don't remember the one last solar eclipse? And while that was going on, all these people had their camcorders out in Mexico, and they were taking pictures of the sky. And then all of a sudden, they start to see these silver discs. All right, folks, go out and Google eclipse in Mexico, UFOs spotted, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There were a
But the
bunch
thing
of
is,
them.
they thought that this is
But the lizard man?
It's the South Carolina Emergency
Wonder if he
Division.
got his glasses at Walmart.
Yeah, but they're putting it up on their Facebook account, and it's a legitimate thing from them. So someone at the South Carolina Emergency Management Division does believe in lizard man.
I guess, man.
That'd have been fun to have him on the show.
Come on, James. Would we ever do a show on lizard man? I mean, come on.
We haven't, have we?
You know,
Mothman.
This is the thing. Well, Mothman, but yeah, you realize that's like isn't it the heart of moonshine country?
Yeah, that's why
They got to
there's-
be they got to be wasted to sit there and really think that there's a lizard man. Although, haven't we done shows on stories about some of these? Remember the one lady that was sitting there taking a bath in the Ohio River? All of a sudden, she was pulled under, just kept being pulled under like a bobber. And they finally got her out, and they looked at her legs, and she was shredded like claws.
Yeah.
And they cleaned the wounds out, and they had like the dirt that could have only come from the channel of the Ohio River. If you Google that, Ohio monster attacks a girl on the Ohio River, and you'll come up. Dude.
Okay, let's Kate. Now, one of our listeners in our chat room wants me to say, James says skin and neck. Oh my goodness gracious!
You realize why she's doing it.
I know. Skin is.
Yes, I can't even.
Jim Morrison was the Lizard King.
Schneckdale.
Snaggity.
Schneckdally.
Snackalicious.
You're going to
Sorry.
have to sit there and edit this crap out when we put it
Oh,
up on
you
iHeart,
kidding?
man.
No way.
All right,
This is how we are.
So, we
yeah,
have got to take a break,
We do
man.
got a break.
All right, folks, this is Strange Things Radio. Listen, we got another hour of show left. And when we come back, we're going to talk about things like, hey, did you see that video on YouTube? Is that too good to be true? You think that was... All the other videos, and we'll cover the gamut. So, get yourself some snackage. Did I say snackage?
Snackage.
I did, okay.
That's
Get
when you
yourself
take
some-
your snack and you slap it.
All right, there you go.
Smack it.
Snackage. Yeah.
Smackage
So
it.
get your snackage, get some drinky poo, and we'll see you on the backside. Don't go away.
Strange Things Radio.
Medication time. Medication time. That was our music called Medication Time. Folks, you got to understand, James loves that song. I'm like, James, you're putting people to sleep out there. And he even goes, Eric, listen to this. Is this our, what would you say?
Is our medication?
Is that our
music?
medication music? So, and so we're hanging out here on Friday night, man, the last hour of the show. If you want to catch the show, you can catch it again. iHeart, we're up on iHeart, so if you want to sit there.
Also, Paranormal, huh?
Yeah.
It's another podcast place of ours.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can get a whole backlog of shows. We're not saying they're all good. And some of them might be out there. See, folks, this is the thing. I've tried to encourage James to listen to our show, to kind of critique it, to say how can we make improvements. And because he's the one that makes the long trips to the east coast of Florida, goes to Orlando, goes to North Tampa, so he has the time to actually listen. I try to listen just to see how the levels were, if there was flow, and that to make sure we weren't so ADD. But if you go up into iHeartRadio, and you can get a whole backlog of our shows.
Yep.
Or
if you want to find us on
there you go,
Facebook, Strange Things Radio Network.
Yeah.
If you want to send a message out to me, I can give you access to our G Drive, which has years of shows too. So we give it away. We don't charge. I know there's some shows out there, the big ones who like to give you membership fees and all that stuff. And
what I like, buddy, is it documents the transition. And what it basically reflects is over the years, we're getting
idiot
slowly
to better idiots.
No, I'm thinking idiot to losing his freaking mind, right? Before, we were a little bit, but here our whole ADD shows, and for that we
used
apologize.
to. I remember on the first shows, I had 4 or 5 pages of notes. We're like, okay, we're going to do a serious paranormal show.
No, folks, he's not lying.
And
he would do research, and he'd sit there and he'd say, okay, here's our notes for the show. And we go through a paragraph.
Yeah.
Right? We just start talking about something and go off on a tangent.
And we realize,
you
know what? Our show is more organically grown. Was it last week that we got, a couple weeks ago, we were going to talk about how first responders handle paranormal.
Yeah.
Well, somehow we got into AI. And we just said, we're going to AI. We literally just took a left.
Well, this is the thing.
And
when you talk about AI, and we're not going to talk about AI
No, not tonight. No.
We always talk, we end up talking about the dark aspects of AI.
Because there is a lot of dark.
Were we not talking about AI a year or two ago? And we were saying now one of the things that we would be concerned about is they would start putting robots into fast food stores. In grocery stores, and we saw the Forerunner where you can go and do your auto checkout, where you just scan it and put and you put the credit card and blah blah blah. Well, now they're starting to put robots in to flip your burgers, to do your fries, and you maybe might have 1 or 2 bodies that you actually have to pay a salary to, but not for the robots. And I saw out on cyberspace that they're going to come up with a robot tax. Wouldn't you figure? Wouldn't you figure they got to try and make some sort of money? They're going to come up with a robot tax. How they're going to figure out, I have no idea. But that's the one thing about AI that makes me feel very uncomfortable. Because I look at it as, hey, you can get AI to the point, artificial intelligence, where they put you out of a job. Right? You get out of a job. And that, to me, is scary.
So,
right?
Tonight's show, sponsored by, this is where we should have a sponsor for the show.
Wings and things. We got to do wings and things.
Yeah. But we got to get real money.
We ought to do Mexicali and just send them a thumb drive and say, hey, listen to how we talk about you on the show. We got thousands and thousands of listeners, right? And this is free. Don't roll your eyes like that, man.
We do.
What were the numbers last month? I mean, come on.
We're into that.
But they were thousands and thousands and thousands.
But tonight's show is going to be about evidence, particularly like CCTV evidence, body cam evidence, cell phone evidence, things that people have captured that, I don't know, it's hard.
Let's say it's the chain of command.
Right. And where could it be faked?
Where could it be intercepted,
Oh, and are they faked?
manipulated, and then presented as paranormal evidence?
Because you have to admit, I still find this interesting. We get all this audio,
Right.
video,
And people still, they're still skeptics.
but what about okay, the big boys, CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox,
Yeah.
CNN.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any real capture from them. We see stuff from, reality shows. Well, that's hard to sometimes believe. And mind you, I'm going to digress for a second. I was skeptical about the Lowe's Files. And for those who don't know, Rob Lowe and his
Dude,
sons,
I've yet to see that.
you've got to watch it, dude.
Really?
Here's
Okay.
why I like it. And you know me, I will bag on a paranormal reality show all day long.
Do you have like an old St. Elmo's fire poster with the I'm just curious,
That's
man.
very good.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But
they were the Brat Pack. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's what I find interesting. He in the show, I've watched two shows so far, right? I think a third one's tonight. No. I'm not sure. But either way, I've seen two of them. And he talks about in the past, he's did this or did this. So it feels like, and maybe it's just making good drama, I can't verify, but he's been interested and involved in somewhat paranormal stuff in his past. It's not like he's trying to make this up all of a sudden. He gets stuck on a crew and they're going to go look at stuff. He looks like he's generally been interested, and he's taking his kids out for vacations, and they've done stuff that could be considered paranormal style, like they've gone camping and hunted for Bigfoot and gone and did just different things.
Why did you become a huge fan of Bigfoot? What happened to you on what was it, the river?
Hillsborough River. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and for those who haven't heard this before, it was.
And he's a nut, folks. All I got to do is say Bigfoot, and he twinkles in his eye, and he gets that little smirky smile. He's like, "Yeah, let's go off on a tangent."
Well, I was between 8th and 9th grade, so I was between 13 and 14 years old. My house was no more than a mile from the Hillsborough River. So having parents who let me do whatever I wanted, and this is back in the 80s, early 80s, I would take the canoe, and I literally just walk the canoe down
your
to the
freaking
river,
mind, man.
drop it into the river, and off I paddled.
Unbelievable.
Well, Hillsborough River is quite a big area.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I wasn't hunting.
It's away from civilization too. It's not like
certain
it goes-
spots,
right?
and,
right.
and there's reports out there, video
Evidence.
evidence.
Remember, that's a theme.
Evidence of. Well, I'm glad you brought this of Bigfoot in the Hillsborough River area. I wasn't
And
looking
Mayaki.
and
Mayaki.
Mayaka.
Yeah.
Mayaka. I was hunting. Okay, yeah, folks, real quick. I was hunting for alligators, baby alligators.
What a-
Do you know
I mean,
why?
just crazy. That
Because
was just out
back
of your
then, what
mind.
was on TV that was big? Miami Vice. Crockett had a pet
Oh, my God.
alligator on his boat. I wanted one. I'm like, oh, I'd love to have a
You're
pet.
damn lucky. 12-footer didn't tip you over and dine on your
But-
flesh. I'm just saying.
Wow,
That's
was-
crazy. I wouldn't even canoe down. I would go down to the Manatee River. No way.
But I was out there, and it was dusk coming in, and probably around 8. This is the summertime, so a good 8:30.
It was still light out.
Yeah. So I
Started.
had that. The sun was set. It was still dark. If you look to the east, it was pretty dark because there's no light. If you look
Right.
to the west, well, I heard this. I'm like, what the heck is that? It got quiet. I mean, like dead air, kind of quiet.
Like it sensed you?
No, not him or her, whatever. The birds and the animal, all the tweaking. Because when you're on the Hillsborough, you heard all the noise.
Yeah.
Dead silent. What the heck was that? I mean, it's loud and big.
Yeah.
Like an elephant. And it smelt. It's like, what the heck? And I didn't know anything, mind you. I had no clue. I turned around, kind of looked over there. I didn't see him. I just heard, and then rustling and stuff like that. And then it got dead. Nothing moved. I'm like, okay. So I just kind of turned around and went back to the other side of the.
I would have gotten the hell out of there.
And so, knowing now what I know, I firmly believe there was a Sasquatch pouncing away there right there at dusk. And then I was like, man, what was that big? And then,
Then after that, you started to go out on hunts on your own, right?
no,
I thought you did.
no.
I thought you went into Mayak and was just sitting there every now and then. You'd sit there and look for.
Oh, I
Bigfoot.
do that. Yeah. I mean, but not when I was,
not now.
then.
But then when you got old enough, when you bought your what was that car you had the purple one?
Oh yeah, my Challenger.
Yeah. So
But what I'm trying to get at is and it's funny because then I started seeing In Search Of. I will tell people this is funny.
Leonard Nimoy, great show.
So I did not watch Star Trek. I saw Leonard Nimoy on In Search Of. And I'm like watching the show every week. I learned what it came on. So when Star Trek started doing replays on whatever channel, I'm like,
hey, that's Spock.
No. I went, that's the guy from In Search Of. See, people would say Spock was,
He was the main character, too.
Right, but
one of the
I
main
didn't know. See, I thought of him from In Search Of, not Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
So in your mind, I always refer to him as In Search Of, then Star Trek. Well, I found out later he did Star Trek first.
Yeah.
Then Star Trek, but I didn't know that growing up. And everyone thinks, oh, you're a big Star Trek fan. I wasn't
The
really a big
show
Star
with the hot lizard green chicks, right? And Captain Kirk always got a chance to
Always
make
got
out
the
with
girls.
him. Come on,
But,
man.
So evidence. This is an interesting. So I was kind of poking around. Oh, I'm sorry, and you know us, ADD. This is part of the topic, but I was going to talk about CCTV Paranormal Ghost one, but this just came out literally like yesterday or today.
All right, folks, we're going to post it to the website.
Let me go pull it real quick. This is a video that a guy took. Now, again, can't say it's real or not real, but it's a very interesting view and topic. YouTube. Hold on. I'll just say the word YouTube. Is that copyrighted to say? No. YouTube.
Who cares?
Who has a Bigfoot,
Yeah.
deer. Let's see if that pops up. So, no. It's brand new. I'm talking
James, you should have had this stuff bookmarked, man.
what the-
Continuity, flow, right? We got to get a flow. All right,
hey, look. Oh, that's so funny.
My favorite video, while you're looking,
Okay.
the one piece of video that I think is pretty legitimate was taken in Georgia. If you Google,
The nights when
dude, you're going to get us in trouble.
I don't know.
You're just taking
Sorry,
chances,
just
man.
popped up in my head.
All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
this video was taken from the perspective of a dash cam in a cop's car. Now, not only did he have the dash cam video and himself, but he had a passenger that also witnessed this. So, in your mind, picture a 4-lane highway. Yeah. Two lanes going in one direction and 2 lanes going in the other, right? We're right?
Yeah. Yep. That's
With a medium like a grass or something like that.
Right, that's a 4-lane.
In the middle, yeah. So, and it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark, and they're in the middle of the woods because Georgia, isn't it North Georgia that has like a national forest, right?
Well, the Blue Mountains come into North Georgia.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it was up there. And these Blue Mountains, James, wouldn't you agree? We're talking serious, dense forests that not too many, there's probably areas that probably have never been searched before. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So
Or very little people been there.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're just driving along, doing their thing. And then, you know how you've seen like an animal at night that just bolts across the road, right? Like a rabbit or a coon. I've never seen a deer, but let's just say a deer that would sit there and hop, that would. This thing, James, and if you Google it, just Google, and it at some point in time, if you check it out, if you Google Georgia cop Bigfoot dash cam, and you will see this video. Now, when you look at this video, this is a bipedal. So anyway, so you have the perspective of the dash cam as the car drives down the road. It's dark, and you hear the conversation between the cop and his passenger. And they're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, in front of them, a bipedal figure that was hairy. I mean, dude, he was hairy. He walked. No, he ran. No, he basically went boom, 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 boom. He cleared all 4 lanes and the medium. It was the most. I looked at that and I had to watch it over and over again. I was like, man, the skeptic in me sat there and said, okay, what do you think they're doing? Would a cop and a passenger conspire with another guy to this guy dress up as Bigfoot and run across the road, and they timed that because the dash cam is several minutes. He must have went a couple miles, and then this thing ran out. And when you watch it, it's leaping, and you see his hair. dude, find that for me, will you please? I mean,
So, I want to post. Remember, we talking about the new video. So I'm posting up there. Oh shoot! I guess I can't post it because I haven't been logged into the chat room.
All right, is this the one with the Bigfoot drowning a deer?
Yes. So give me a second, folks. I have to log in real quick.
So so from what I understand, what James described is there's video of what appears to be a Bigfoot, right, James?
Yep.
Grabbing a deer and drowning it. Now, you know, how do you fake something like that? I mean, wouldn't you sit there and say that's pretty good evidence, James?
And I know, and listen, there's always going to be people. So, folks, I'm posting it. Here's the YouTube part of it. Again, this is a camcorder. Excuse me, wrong word. A camera. I mean, phone camera.
Yeah.
So it's
and
not.
Some of them are pretty good, buddy.
It's 30. I don't know. It's 33 minutes long or 33 seconds long, whatever. And there's people who stabilize, who's now reviewing it, but it's something in the water, and it definitely looks like a deer. Again, not great footage. He was kind of further back and looked like he zoomed in, but it's definitely.
First of all, does it look like a deer?
It
a
does.
deer that's moving? I'll have to check it out after the show.
Yeah, it's. But so the point is, and this just
that's evidence.
It's evidence.
It's video evidence. So then it's up to the critics. It's up to those people that actually look at it and dissect it and maybe blow things up, that sit there and determine, hey, is this legitimate video? And see, this is the thing. James, you and I aren't saying that it's the missing link, are you?
No. I think it's
Bigfoot can be some sort of a primate, a bipedal primate,
right?
All right, that isn't a close cousin. It's a bipedal, smart, intelligent creature, a primate that has eluded civilization. I mean, all we have are pictures. All we have are videos. We even have sounds of screeching that sounds like, oh my gosh, have you? And that's another thing.
And this video has some grunting in it. You can hear it. It's like, like
guttural, like from the gut.
Yeah. And so I mean,
I'm talking about the screeching, man.
Oh,
the screeching.
Yeah, the screeching. That I've always found Bigfoot screams very interesting.
And see, this is the thing. It's not only Bigfoot. Anything paranormal, anything weird, anything strange, we're starting to, because of everybody carries a phone. Everybody, even young kids. And all you have to do, you see something, you just hit video and you point and shoot. And the megapixels on a lot of these current versions or current models of phones rival any professional camera, right? Would you agree?
I agree.
And what did you drop?
The mouse went for a run.
So, and this is the thing. That video, look at the one from Labor Day. We got to find some of these and post so people take a look at these, man. The one from, was it Labor Day or Memorial Day video where these guys were camping or something, and down into a valley they saw this creature, this bipedal hairy creature booking on the base of the valley, and then all of a sudden it just like disappears. That's video evidence.
Now, I found one that's interesting, and this is Lowe's file, because
all right, put them away, man, because I'm telling you, she's going to be pissed. Oh. Did I eat too many?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
That's fine.
I got to clean this mess up, man. There's like a tower.
Yeah. Next break.
And see, the funny, sad thing is these people that are listening for the first time, they're like, is that all they do is eat on air? Isn't that a little unprofessional? Isn't that a little unprofessional? Not at Strange Things Radio, baby.
No. But the first episode of Lowe's File, one of the things that I love trigger objects. For those who don't know, trigger objects are things you bring into an paranormal investigation, i.e. ghosts and paranormal.
Yeah.
That's one thing that when people say paranormal, they think ghosts, but to me, paranormal is anything outside of the norm.
Right.
Hence the word para,
right.
normal.
Right.
But in this particular one, they were doing a haunted hotel or something. And they brought a trigger object. It's a ball. That's always my favorite. Ghost Brothers did this.
And, dude, we had a discussion about this. That's if you accept the premise that there's children ghosts. You know how I feel.
Not necessarily.
You know what my belief system, right?
Yeah,
you know. Okay.
But something's moving that ball.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Why couldn't it be a manifestation of demonic
It
entities?
It could. I'm just saying the interest. I love when the ball's sitting there, and then all
of
a sudden
it moves. Yeah.
they're like talking, and they're like it starts rolling. It's not a wind. It's not a fan. It's not someone opening
There's
the door.
no wind. There's nothing. It just moves.
And it's been sitting there for a while. Now,
See, buddy,
are they
that is
faking
evidence.
It? Are they
That's
faking it for
right.
the show?
Right.
And this is one thing. I have a hard time believing that someone like Rob Lowe, who does have
A reputation.
a reputation in the field, not in the paranormal field, in acting, right? We're like, oh, but he's bringing his sons. This is more of a family. This is why I like
You
the
think
show.
it's a passion of his, or he's just trying to make a career of himself?
No, I think it's a passion he's had, and he is spending time with his family and his sons. He's like, why don't we videotape this? Why don't we do an adventure? Why don't we have fun with this? And they make fun. They're a lot like us, and they're in the car and they're joking around with each other, and they actually in one of the scenes they were pulling a prank on someone, but they're doing different paranormal stuff. He's having a chance to hang out with his sons. That's why I like the show. It's not like the guys, okay, serious, get the equipment out. They're having fun with it, and they're looking to see if there's something out there and can they record it. I think it's really cool. I really do. But they were showing a ball rolling, and
That is evidence. Yeah. And whether you believe it or not, that's something not necessarily tangible. I guess a video file, that's really not even tangible anyway, but it's evidence video that you can go back and look. And that's the thing, James, and it covers the entire spectrum, the paranormal spectrum. Right,
right.
So on our last half hour, so folks, hang out with us. We only got another half hour worth of show. Hope everybody's still hanging out with us. Don't go anywhere, because on the back side of this hour, our final hour, we're going to talk about other examples that you asked like NASA video footage of objects leaving our atmosphere and shooting off into space. Can someone explain that to me? How does an object leave our atmosphere and shoot off into space? Now, I could see objects going into our atmosphere and burning up. I mean, trash, chunks of ice, whatever, but leaving our atmosphere? And this is evidence that NASA has collected. In fact, they are notorious for stopping the feed because these objects are so obvious, and they don't want to have, after the fact, come up with an explanation. Oh, what was that? Well, they'd rather cut the feed and say, we lost our feed. So hang out with us, folks. We got another half hour here show. Strange Things Radio with James and Eric. Don't go away. Stay with us.
Strange Things Radio. Strange.
Yeah, Strange Things Radio. Last half hour of the show. Strangelings, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Men's and women's, thanks for hanging with us. James, how can people, if they want to say, hey, you know, we listen to the show, we want to get to know you, what's your name, we're from here, how about this topic? How can people get in touch with us or follow us?
Well, for a small fee,
I can't hear a word you're saying, man. Oh, wouldn't you figure it out? It's the last part of the show. There you go. What the hell happened? Did you turn it off?
turned it off the mic. Sorry, folks. And I had a bit and everything because you were going to say that. And I was like, for a small price of $4.95,
yeah, exactly.
You're going to donate to,
Yeah, but
here's
James,
how you get a hold of us.
we are live. Are we not live, bro?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Friday nights, 10 to 11 here.
Hang out with us, man.
On ParaX Radio Network is our flagship radio for live. We
Yeah.
do have
Tune in,
Paranormal Hunt,
yeah,
and
iHeart, yeah.
Those are our podcast parts. But if you want to hear us live, come to ParaXRadioNetwork.com. Join the chat room, which we love hearing you guys. We interact pretty heavily.
Well, we love seeing everybody out there, man. That's our way of being able to get to know you, interface with you. Do we not dig it, James?
We do.
Okay.
So we were talking about
Evidences,
and we've been kind of chatting about some of the CCTV stuff. There's been all kinds of, there's been lots of different evidences.
There was one that
Evidences?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. Several examples of evidence. That's fine. It works with us. Right? They understand. So, what about the one that was at a hotel chain?
The one that just came out like a week ago?
No, dude. This has been out, man.
I'm talking. Did you see the one that came out like 2 weeks ago?
No.
So this brother, he's taking a video. Oh, you haven't seen this thing?
Well, no. This is CCTV.
Oh, see, okay,
See,
go ahead.
This is the thing. When it comes to evidence, you have to consider the chain of, what'd I say? The chain of command.
Kind of command, yeah. And where's it coming from?
The chain of possession.
The chain of
All right,
possession.
so in other words, who actually saw on the DVR this thing transpire, this evidence, and did they take it unedited? Could they be trusted? And then said, here's the DVR footage. Because, James, right, we've been in cameras, we've worked with cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Most of these CCTV cameras, they have a feed to a DVR and it's recorded. And it can record it up to, a couple weeks?
It's according to how you're setting it up.
Yeah.
If you're doing 7 frames per second, you can go 30 days.
Yeah.
If you're doing 30 frames per second, you may get 15 days.
Yeah.
Plus, it's according to how much hard drive space you got. So,
and see, this is the thing, bro. This was in a hotel chain. So someone got and you. All right. The bottom line was what you saw from the perspective of the camera. You were hearing noises, and you see a security guard walk up to the door. He has his walkie-talkie, and he's talking to whoever on the other end about hearing sounds. Should he enter? Asking who's in. What? Oh, it's unoccupied, and we're hearing these noises in here. And you see all this from the perspective of a CCTV camera, and I guess it had an audio mic too, because you could hear the sounds. So basically, the guy takes his key, he walks in, and you see him walk in. I want to say that water was running, that some of the furniture was overturned, and he heard the sounds of a woman crying. And you could hear some of these shrieks, some of these sounds. So you got to sit there, and when I saw this, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And I want to say it was a hotel somewhere in the north suburbs of Illinois.
Hotel California?
No. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
but
that's a paranormal song.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
you
saying.
could never leave. See, don't do that, man. You get me going. So the bottom line was,
But that's paranormal because you know what it's about.
yeah, this was a piece of evidence, and it's out there. Here's another piece of evidence: a CCTV. A chain of cameras. You know how you can sit there on a DVR and you can basically set up the software to take 60 seconds or 2 minutes of video each perspective. So let's say you have an office floor and you have 10 cameras set throughout the office. This was an office that I think was over in the UK that later came to find out was over where the hotel was sitting, they had found old Roman artifacts. That it was some sort of a burial issue or whatever, but they built this office complex over. James, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. When you see this CCTV footage, the one thing that blew my mind was the cabinets that just came open violently, and then the documents just go straight up, not
And
just
the tears rolling.
You saw it too.
Yes,
Okay.
I've seen that one. Here's the thing I worry about that one. And I know what you're talking about because it seems it was clear.
Very clear.
A little too clear for CCTV.
See, that's what I'm saying. The evidence. See, if it's too good to be true phenomenon.
Yeah.
All right. But weren't you kind of like, wow,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it looked very, very good.
convincing?
Convincing. My problem is it looked really Hollywood. Really Hollywood. Because think about it. We've seen these shows where they sit in a room and they have a trigger object, lights come on, maybe a ball rolls. My problem was with all that happening, that is a lot of energy. If say it was real, we're gonna go on the assumption that all of it was 100% real. That's a lot of energy, a lot of ghosts. You don't have one ghost running around there. This is not Ghostbusters where you got what's that guy who had the big who's the green one? What was the green Slimer? Running around blowing things up. It's just so much. I can understand a door slowly closing. Okay, we've seen that. Like, did you see the one? Oh, that's the other one. Kid was playing. He was videotaping himself playing video games. In the back of him, the door just goes.
Well, all right, that video evidence versus CCTV video evidence. There is chain of who took this video?
He was recording himself playing video games.
Right, but when I was thinking about evidences and talking about evidences. Didn't you ask that too? Can we
Yeah.
say evidence?
And it sounds weird, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but this is the thing: a CCTV DVR'd series of events.
you've seen the TV movies where they're fake.
Yeah,
it's like, CCTV.
That's
It's got
what
the
I
number.
mean by chain of possession.
Right.
Who took possession of this? How did they see that? First of all, who goes through days of CCTV images? Unless they have to. Someone broke in and blah, 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 and you go back and examine
How do they catch it?
find it? How do they catch it?
Well,
Exactly.
why you all of a sudden, unless you're there live yourself and you see it on the monitor live
Right.
and you caught it,
Right.
You're like, oh my goodness.
Well, that could have very well have been what was going on in this hotel chain.
But that video, the hotel chain one, maybe. I'm thinking about the one about the office building.
They would hear that. Is that someone screaming? Send a security guard. Okay, then all I know is some of the video that you see that comes out. You have to sit there and you're like the one you're. So it sounds like you're skeptical about the office.
I'm very skeptical because they have the same version of the kitchen.
Oh, dude,
The kitchen one
England?
too. Yeah,
in England
with the door, with the
Yeah,
things are in
yeah.
there.
But did you see the dishes go vertical, James?
But that's again Hollywood stunt. Maybe they got a blow machine.
All of these, a blow machine that's going to do dishes, James. Think about what you just said.
Maybe the string.
All the dishes.
I don't. But
The
I
cups,
just
dude, go back
That's
and look
what-
at that video. And we should have probably posted some of this stuff. But you go back and look at some of that video. And I looked at it. I was like, of course, I'm sitting there thinking, how did they do this? How did they do that? And especially the office CCTV footage where these papers, it was going one folder after another. It was like whatever it was clearing, and the documents were going straight up. You would have seen. It would have to have a hurricane high hurricane setting to blow these documents vertical, James. So, all right, look, if it was faked, if it was a hoax, Hollywood should hire these people, right? Hollywood should hire. Now, we have seen video on the internet of like UFOs. We go, come on, man. That's Hollywood, right? We've
Right.
seen some of that stuff, okay?
Is this the following footage recorded by hotel security September 14, 2000, and it has not been edited? I think this is the one you're talking about.
I don't see that. Well, I'm
No,
looking.
no, I got it in my thing right here.
Okay.
I'm going to post it up on.
Cat, I just look at the. And I really haven't been following the conversation in the chat room tonight. But look at the engineer goes, Cat Stevens moonlighting.
I have no idea.
Folks, I got to tell you, I love our Strangelings. Do you not love our Strangelings, James?
Oh, I do. They're our favorite.
You people make this fun. I mean, you really make this fun. We have a blast talking, interfacing with you guys, seeing people out there every single week, establishing relationships. Dude, did you not meet Tina Marie in Orlando?
I did.
And she's one of our listeners, and we actually hooked up with her. And so,
Whoa.
all right. Bad, poor choice of words. You're gonna, dude. It's almost
We met up for a nice
Right.
luncheon.
All right. You know, do you think Jen's is listening? I mean, we understand it.
No, I just don't want the rest of the world because you said the word hooked
All right,
up,
all right,
and
all
that
right,
usually refers to.
Wait, hold on. It's a little late, right? It's a little late, and it's almost 12 o'clock. And what engineer goes, dude? I did not hook up with anyone. See?
Told you. We met for a nice lunch.
Yeah, but you know what? I missed out. I missed meeting you. I mean, I had to work that day. It was wasn't a Saturday. I had to go
Saturday?
in. I had to go in and take care of things because I like to make sure everything is done, so I don't have to sweat it the following week. That's why I got to go in for a couple hours tomorrow. But does anybody feel bad for me? Anybody? Nobody?
Hotel.
Yeah. Here's another thing.
I'm
All
trying
right.
to find this one
So,
that
okay.
came out a few weeks ago.
Remember
too.
we were talking about chain of possession.
Correct.
Okay. Now let's talk about organizations with a reputation like
MoveOn?
like NASA.
Oh, I thought you were talking about organizations that.
No, I'm
work.
I'm talking about NASA.
Okay. Government organizations
Right. Well,
that could be
Well, this is the thing.
possession of evidence, and they're not.
How many examples have we gotten of video footage that was recorded by NASA where all of a sudden some sort of an object in the background appears, and then all of a sudden you get that flash? We have suddenly lost connection. We're sorry for the delay. We will reinstate the video as soon as it comes. Whatever. You get that cheesy music in the background. Right? And the little, right? It's like,
I don't know what we're singing, but it sounds good.
Sorry for the loss of signal. We'll have it restored. And it happened right at the exact moment that this object appeared. And you're asking yourself, well, how did they? There are some people out there that are bigger nerds than we are, right? They're bigger fans, so they monitor this stuff and record it. So these people are recording there's so much stuff out there you can find NASA where you see these balls of light, these spheres, these objects in the background, where as soon as they come in, and time long enough for a technician who monitors this at NASA to say, hey, Joe, we got something in the background. Should we kill the feed? Yeah, kill the feed. So you have enough time to see this object, and the person that's recording it, then the signal is lost. Supposedly it's lost, but really they're basically censoring what's going on in the background. And the guy that had been recording it up to the point where it lost its signal, he has that video evidence.
So what I did, folks, is if you are joining us on a live chat here, I found a little quick YouTube video posted in the chat room. It does show a NASA video that was cut on 17th of January 17th, I think. I had it right here. Dang it. But it was 1:25:17. NASA cuts the feed to live video, and someone was recording that. And I just saw.
They call it a technical difficulty, James.
Yeah, but they noticed, like you were saying, some kind of orb. Some people are saying it's a lens flare.
Sure.
And it's like, well, then,
a chunk of ice. Yeah, that's pulsing.
Yeah.
That seems to be doing intelligent maneuvers. Please, come on, man. What about, here's another thing. You saw this footage. This footage is out there where this tether, this long tether that's miles apart. I guess it's long in length. I think miles, and it breaks off. They were doing some sort of experiment, and it was floating away. And then all of a sudden, these objects start basically surrounding it, and NASA kept it. In fact, that one guy, what's the guy? Dan Aykroyd and another guy did a documentary on this video footage of this tether floating away from the space, and all of a sudden these big things coming around and circling it and going around it and checking it out. That's evidence. You can't explain that.
Right, but the problem, and this is where we're going back to the crutch of things, is chain of evidence.
Yeah.
And I wish there was a certified. The problem is you never can truly trust anyone.
We'll never be
Right,
able
because you don't know. Because when you get it, you're like, oh, this really looks good. But unfortunately, audio video editing these days is amazing. I mean, you got kids making great looking little audio video. I mean, you can literally make stuff off your iPhone. iPhone commercials
that
look
very,
professional.
very professional. That would have us talking about it on our show.
Right. So you wonder now, and like I'm looking at a video right now.
NASA, brother, NASA.
Yeah, but think about it. You could take that feed into an audio video program, dump your own audio video into it, and go look and release it on YouTube saying it's a NASA video.
Okay,
and
that's the problem.
That's the problem.
So we will never, unless the only way we would essentially be able to say, yeah, that is evidence that we can trust, is if you're on the White House, and all of a sudden you have all the major networks doing a live feed, whatever, and something comes out of the sky, and you go to every channel and you see this object and it lands. That's the only way, because no matter how good the footage is, no matter if it's governmental, NASA, military, dude, they have videotape of a military installation that had weapons. I want to say nuclear missiles. And they filmed for about 5 minutes this object like floating. This was before drones, okay, and doing these aerial movements that just stunned them. That you said, okay, we don't have that kind of technology. We don't have. This was from a military base. So, are we going to sit there and say, well, they took that and the military hoaxed it? I don't know, man. I mean,
and that's the problem is getting these. And I know, and we were, it's hard to say, because I want to believe in some of the stuff. I'm like, oh, look at this video. Oh, look at this audio. And some of it's good. And like the saying, the Bigfoot one we posted up here before we went to break. It looks good in one hand, but then it's like, it's kind of rough. So could it really been faked, or could have been something, could have been a bear in the water. And the thing he was playing with was a log, and it looks.
Yeah, but I thought it was upright. I haven't seen it. So you're thinking, and you said it was drowning. Do bears drown deer?
I wouldn't think so, but that's the problem sometimes, is you don't know.
Well, you look at a Bigfoot from afar, and or you think you're looking at a Bigfoot. It might be a bear. It might be a bear, because bears do stand up on two legs, right? I don't know if they walk. Maybe
they can't.
If you go to a circus,
but that's because they've learned how to do that. They've caught.
Is that the Yogi effect?
That was the Yogi effect.
Okay,
yes.
I was just curious.
You guys, if we had video here to show you, because the video would be fake.
Buddy, this is the thing. We referenced earlier Zach Bagans. Okay?
Yes.
One clip of video launched his career, and that was when he was in the basement of the Goldfield Hotel somewhere in Nevada. It was like, it was at that. So this place is notorious for strange goings on. And he and his crew went down. They were doing the documentary. This is before he had the show. This is what launched the show. And he's down in the basement, and they're filming an area. It was perfect because you saw it. It was illuminated, and you saw literally this board just shoot, one go this way, one shoot up, and you're sitting there going, okay, that looked too damn good to be true. But damn, maybe they did capture some sort of, and you know what it did? They became so popular, the Travel Channel decided to give them a show, and the rest was history. So was it a stunt to try and get a TV show? Who knows? But it was evidence, it was video evidence that was really convincing. You can either say, yeah, that's convincing, or that's a crock. That's not real. All right, really. I mean, it's one or the other. So, when it comes to this is the thing. Okay, is it real? I don't know. Do we like talking about it, James?
Oh, yeah.
We like talking about it, James.
Every week.
I like seeing video, right? I like hearing audio files of guys that are in, or just videotape where they're actually out in the boondocks and they hear screeching sounds, and you go, "What the hell kind of creature was that?"
Exactly.
And it's so much so where, and this, what I like to do is look at the facial expressions on some of these people. You can tell when people are freaked out.
Yeah.
They're either classically trained actors, or they're legitimately scared, uncomfortable. If I heard that sound, I was like, okay, let's get in the Bronco and get the hell out of here. Right? Just like if we, because we've had, how many times people have invited us to go out on a ghost hunt, right? A lot of times.
Yes, we have.
I'm sorry, folks. I don't want to go because I don't believe there's ghosts. The scripture says it's pointed on man to die once and then the judgment. And I'm not going to go preach. I'm just saying that's a scripture that I believe. So if that's the case, ghosts aren't human ghosts. They're demonic spirits.
But hold on. How does
Dude,
that... How does that verse relate to the die? They died once. They're dead. Now they're ghosts. So
it's appointed unto man to die once, and then the judgment. Not hang out for 200 years.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
I know, but we can sit there and
but
make
you're
we can
inferring it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is time when you're dead?
Buddy,
I mean, literally, time could be a second, and 50 years goes by.
Here was another piece of video evidence that Bagans took, where he was in, I want to say, a hospital. And you clearly heard the voice of a little girl. And he so happened to have his, I don't know, his little ghostometer, whatever the hell that thing is. I mean, I'm sure people could sit there and say what it is, but the little thing that can sense energy or whatever. And I'll be damned.
It's an EVP meter?
When you heard her voice, you saw this meter and it jumped. So I'm not saying that that's, a perfect example of evidence, but it's evidence. Now, you can dispute it. You can be critical. You can sit there and say, I don't believe that's what they say it is. I just don't. However, there's always the possibility that it is real. An example of satanic, demonic spirits masquerading as little girls.
But what would the demon get out of it?
Deception.
Who?
Convince you that there is such a thing as a human spirit world. Yeah. Oh, I'm rolling now, man. I'm hot. And we didn't mean to go. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go in this direction. It just happened. Sorry. Come on. Why are you looking at me like that? Come on.
Because I'm stunned.
You're stunned.
I don't know,
but I think I'm right, and I'm just.
Well, one's theory. Listen, people would think they're right about a lot of things.
Yeah,
doesn't mean they're right.
Yeah. So, but the bottom line is, folks, when we decided to come up with tonight's show, we were talking about what's one of the things that we want to get into and talk about, and that's evidence, video evidence, audio evidence. I guess there's not much more then, right? Video, audio, that's it.
Well, true time. If you're there seeing
Yeah. Witnesses.
Yeah, witnesses replaying back to sir. But
so I hope, folks, that you didn't consider the show too ADD. Want to thank James, the skipper. I mean, me to Gilligan. I mean, that's what I'm here for, to support the skipper. So say goodnight, James.
That was fast.
No, I was just saying, well, didn't you want to say goodbye to the Strangelings?
Oh, I did, but we always, say, well, we can find us on like Strange Things Radio Network on Facebook.
You were the one that sat there and said, we got 1 minute.
Well, we do, because we got a show behind us. So we can't be late, but Strange Things Radio Network on Facebook, Strange Things Radio at gmail.com. Again, host of Strangers on Twitter. And that is our show tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
so, folks, remember, be here next Friday at 10 to 12. Hang out with us. Be part of the show, Strangelings. We love you. So, until next week, James, tag it.
Stay strange, folks.
You just pulled it out, man.
Don't shut up. We're still running live.
Strange things radio. Strange